Okay, not a criminal attorney, not here to give legal advice, but I am here to give you the real on this Diddy trial. So let's get into the cross-examination of David. So when the defense got up there to question David, they asked David about this incident that they tried to keep out of evidence, right? So they asked him, why didn't you provide more details about this Suge Knight incident? And let me give y'all a little hint. Because there were some details the prosecution didn't want him to talk about. So the federal government wanted to give the jury just enough to make it seem like Diddy was this mastermind boss who had lower level employees do whatever he wanted them to do, right? And so now you have your personal assistant who witnessed this incident firsthand, but y'all don't want to disclose or bring out the role he played in the situation. So we just gonna leave that out and like that didn't happen. But the defense said, since you wanted this in the testimony, we gonna get out what we want to get out. So let's get into that. When asked by the defense that question, why did you leave certain details out? David said that the story stopped because he was instructed not to say anything that would incriminate him. The defense then asked David about a prior statement that he gave where he stated that he was inside the diner, but David stated that he didn't remember that. Parties are building their case. They're going to meet with you, right? Whether it be when you first get arrested, you give a statement. When they first interview you, you give a statement. Whatever the case may be. And these statements become a part of the evidence. And so if you give a statement, it's called a prior statement. If there's any inconsistencies, a party can ask you about that. So they'll bring up, again, to impeach your credibility, prior statements that you've made pertaining to the case. And if it's inconsistent, that prior inconsistent statement will be brought up. You can almost count on it. And we saw that with Dawn. We saw them bring up the fact that her statements had changed over time. And so the defense took the position like, yo, your story is not the same as it was when you first gave your statement. So you will see that. So in this particular instance, they bring up a prior statement where he says he was inside the diner. Now all of a sudden you understand and you don't remember. Poking holes, poking holes, poking holes. My name is Andrea Snipes-Booker, and that is the real on this Diddy trial.